Is Sunday Sports Sound by no means a comfortable afternoon for Hibernian, but they're through 1-0 against Partick Thistle, who spurned so many opportunities, particularly in the final quarter of the game. 1-0 Hibernian, Owen Elding with a goal. In the end, it's proved to be much more comfortable for Heart of Midlothian, Alan Preston.
It has, Richard. Claudio Braga's just got a fifth. They've actually had another one chopped off. Since he's made the changes, bringing on Spittle, McPake, Braga and Wilson, Hearts have been incredible. Honestly, the chances they've created and scored, they're now lead by 5 goals to 2. We have got, 3 minutes left. As I say that, Cali come forward. Hearts have been, they were lacklustre, I would say, until they made the changes. They went behind. Cali with a better side at the start of the second half, Richard, and deservedly took the lead there. Ryan Duncan got the equaliser. Bavidge put them 2-1 up. But within a couple of minutes, Rogers Mato with a good header. Then 82 minutes, Calvin Miller with a penalty. Brilliant play by Calgiotto on the wing. He's brought down by Bouton. Referee gives a penalty kick and Calvin Miller smashes it home. Then a Braga shot, well saved. But then another Braga shot was saved by the keeper and it bounces up, and there's Wilson to score his first goal back since he's come back from Tottenham Hotspur, his loan last year. And then Braga with the pick of the goals. It's a cross coming in onto Braga's right foot, and he smashed it right in the top corner. It was absolutely, Hearts could score again here. Calvin Miller has cleaned through. They're 2v1. Calvin Miller's on, and he does. 6-2. Hearts have been, honestly, the last 20 minutes, it's been incredible stuff. And I know the manager says when he came in and he says, I have organised chaos. That's what it's been. The last 20 minutes have been unbelievable from Hearts. Brilliant stuff. 6-2. Harsh on Cali, I must admit.
And it was Calvin Miller with the final goal there?
Yeah, Calvin Miller gets the final goal there in 94 minutes, Richard.
Third goal of the season, couple of penalties, and now his first from open play. Let's go quickly to Ochilview because the game is not over there, Kerdine Hitsan.
Enjoying his 8 goals because we've had not a single one here at Ochilview. It's still Stenhousemuir 0, Motherwell 0. We're into extra time. If anything, the home side were the ones who deserved to win it in the regulation. Twice, substitute Gus Stevenson was clean through on goal. First time he shot straight at the goalkeeper, Matty Conley. Second time he lifted it over him, but agonisingly wide of the post. Masonisi and Vogt had a couple of chances for Motherwell, but really Steny were the better team. It's 0-0 here. We're into extra time, and right now Stenhousemuir are the ones coming forward, looking the more likely. Motherwell have a lot to do here.
Well, we've mentioned a few times this magnificent run that Stenhousemuir have been on, and they're keeping it going. So we'll keep across that one. Hearts obviously are going through 6-2 up very, very late on against Cali Thistle. We've got live commentary coming up from Ibrox. Let's hear quickly from the Rangers manager. In fact, just before we do that, it's a choice of listening for you. So if you want to stick to the football, make sure you are tuned in to BBC Radio Scotland Extra. 810 medium wave on the radio, of course, online, bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. If you're listening on BBC Sounds, make sure you choose BBC Radio Scotland Extra. On the other frequencies, it'll be your call with Gary Innes.
Rangers versus St Mirren.
The Scottish League Cup, live on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland.
Your request with Gary Innes, of course, should have been caught in a time warp there. 6-2 final score, Heart of Midlothian against Cali Thistle. Right now, let's hear from Derek McInnes ahead of this game. Rangers against St Mirren.
Well, Derek, so many talking points in your squad today. Ryan Derry starts. Lawrence Shankland on the bench. What's your thinking there?
Yeah, obviously we're going with a lone striker. I always feel that Ryan might be better suited for that one in this type of game. You know, I think that we've got to have a kind of focal point. Plus, Lawrence played 90 minutes on Thursday, and again, just trying to look for wee moments, areas where we can get a bit more freshness on the pitch. It's no slight in anybody's performance when they're not playing. Of course, we want to be playing better at the minute, but nothing a win won't help us. I thought last time out here, last Sunday against Hibs, we were a far better team. But for a really disappointing decision, going behind with the penalty kick. What we've got in the building is a group of boys who really care, who are desperate to do well, and the team picked, hopefully, will treat it like a cup tie that the game demands, and hopefully by playing it in that manner, it will help us get the outcome that we want.
You have a left back, James Penrice starts.
Certainly with Tour Robbins' injury, we just need a natural left-footed player there. It's good quality. I mean, we've seen James Penrice play in the Scottish Premier League for years now. and I think the improvements are there in him, and I think there's more improvement in him again. So he's where he wants to be. Hopefully we can see a big performance from him.
Disappointment of Jagiellonia very much fresh in the mind just a few days ago. How confident are you that this team can click suddenly, Derek?
Yeah, listen, I think we will improve as we go along, but we will be easier to improve once we get those attacking options. That's clear as day for me. And they're the hardest ones to get, and the club's working really hard to try and get them in the door. There's no way that we see this as a game that we can't go and win. It's a cup tie. We want to get into the next round. We're a couple of games away from Hampden. We've reinforced that message that it's important that we try and be as confident as we can be. The best way of getting confidence is by winning games and getting the crowd behind you. So we've got to try and do all we can to make sure that's the case today.
Derek McInnes there. We can also get quick thoughts from Craig McLeish.
St Mirren defending champions, obviously. Ismail Kabia, the 20-year-old winger on loan from Arsenal, starts.
It was just a bit of a waiting game to get Cabs in the building with us because he was so heavily involved in Arsenal's pre-season. He's trained with us the last couple of days now, and we're really excited just to throw him in and see how he gets on. We've put together a group of kind of younger players with energy and hunger and no fear, and there's no better place to try and show it off than here.
It's been a great start to the season for St Mirren. How much confidence do you come here with?
Yeah, we're trying to go into every game full of confidence and belief in what we're trying to do. Like you try and shut off the noise around about Rangers at this moment in time because they're so dangerous and they're so strong. We have to just focus on our bit and make sure that we're brave and we play how we want to play, but we do it in the right areas at the right times. So you have to be pragmatic with it as well. But there's an internal belief within the group. No matter what game that we go into, we're coming to try and win every game.
Craig McLeish hoping to maintain St Mirren's hold, their grip on this Scottish League Cup trophy. So already this afternoon, 6-2 for Hearts against Cally Thistle, 1-0 at Bernian against Partick Thistle. They're into extra time at Ochilview, where it remains Stenhousemuir 0, Motherwell 0. Right now, it is time for full live commentary from Ibrox. Rangers against the holders St Mirren. Commentary here on Sunday Sports Sound of BBC Radio Scotland with Stephen Thompson, Peter Lovencrantz and Al Lamont.
Thank you, Richard. Welcome to Ibrox as Derek McInnes continues the search for a first victory as Rangers manager against the holders of the League Cup, who you can be sure will not be giving up their holds on the trophy lightly. A late change to the St Mirren starting lineup, incidentally. Marcus Fraser, who went off with an injury in the last game and was on the bench for this one, but he's had to come in to the starting 11 because Liam Donnelly was injured in the warm-up. So Fraser comes in alongside Gogic at the heart of the St Mirren defence. It will be St Mirren to kick us off. Killian Phillips doing some sort of bear crawls in the centre circle there for us. A slightly strange final warm-up to do, but there you are. Whatever works for you. He's got 4 goals already this season, so who am I to look down upon that? So he is ready and raring to go here. It'll be St Mirren in their change gold tops with their black shorts and gold socks, going from left to right to kick us off, and they've done that as Fraser launches it forward down that right hand side, looking for the debutant Ismail Kabia, who's just come in from Arsenal. And well, Stephen was saying earlier on, if he was a St Mirren player, he'd be trying to get right after Rangers right from the off and looking to capitalise on any nervousness. Peter Lovencrantz is also on the commentary gantry with us. Peter, is that something that Rangers have to guard against, do you feel, as James Penrice chases a long ball but the goalkeeper gathers up? Peter Lovencrantz.
Yeah, definitely. I think Stephen is completely right. Right in the moment in time where Rangers is struggling to trying to get a result, especially at Ibrox as well. You would want to, as a team, to come here and put them under massive pressure early doors in the start of the game, because you know the fans will get nervy if they don't start well, Rangers. So St Mirren is here to make an upset, and the best way to do so is starting on the front foot and put them under pressure from the start.
Rangers in possession on the halfway line. It's captain for the day, Nico Raskan. Incidentally, we mentioned earlier that Tello Asgar is out of the squad altogether. He is suspended, having been sent off last season against Celtic in the competition. The ball comes into the St Mirren box. It's Jayden Richardson just kind of chasing it down, but thumped away before any Rangers player could get there. And then Fraser heads it straight to Dragojevic, who's in from the start. Chukwani out to the left-hand side, and Gassama manages to keep it in.
almost at the byline here. Richardson for company, back to Penrice it goes, low ball in, Fraser's first to it, gets it half cleared, Sterling trying to keep it alive, Raskan looking for Dragojevic, but Phillips shows good play and then he goes down, he's dragged to the ground by Raskan, and it'll be a free kick to St Mirren midway inside their own half. A couple of minutes on the clock and it's still 0-0. Stephen Thompson.
Yeah, nothing to really to report yet, Alistair. Penrice showing his keenness to get forward on this left-hand side. It's a good signing, I think, from Rangers. Obviously really struggling for cover on left-sided players, defenders certainly.
Here's Jokita slipping it to Nadiri, right-hand side of the box. Across goes Gogic, sticks a foot in, times it well, but Rangers have won it back. Nadiri still right-hand side, tries to play it across. It comes off a St Mirren defender, and behind for the first corner of the afternoon. Stephen was querying the inclusion of Nadiri as a kind of lone striker. Peter, what have you made of him in the time that he's been at Ibrox?
I still need to see a lot more from him. I don't think he's established himself yet as a lone striker for Rangers Football Club. So for me, I would have preferred to have seen Shankland playing today. I don't care really that he's played a couple of games in a row. It's just getting more games in and getting into scoring goals, and that's what you need. For Rangers, they need a number 9 who scores a lot of goals, and Shankland is probably the one who could do that. But if you don't play him, then it'll be hard for him to score goals. So I would have preferred to have seen him up front today.
I wonder if we'll see him at some stage. It's a throw into St Mirren, deep in their own territory. 3.5 played here at Ibrox. A lot of empty seats, you'd have to say. Probably a better crowd than I envisaged there being, though.
What you tipping now? Are you going for 36?
Well, yeah, maybe around that. Certainly a lot of absentees as Nadiri tries to wriggle through at the edge of the box. Then a little flick from Jokita doesn't come off, though. And St Mirren work it clear. Rangers have started pretty positively, you would have to say. They have been on the front foot as the goalkeeper takes a touch. Jacob Chapman started all so far since joining in the summer. So we're going to get a number of new faces. There's Declan John, who's not one of them, and it's slipped forward, and an opportunity here for Sula inside the penalty area. Lovely little turn, and he goes for a goal, and he's not too far away. Well, having made the room for himself, you could argue he should be hitting the target because he's in a good position, but he did really well to work the space all by himself. But the shot in the end is 2 or 3 yards wide, and it remains Rangers 0, St Mirren 0.
It was a really good move from St Mirren down the left-hand side. A couple of passes, an overlap from Declan John. He cuts it inside to Sule, and he kind of got it stuck under his feet, but then managed to chop in on his left foot. So the defender a dummy and got his shot away quite quickly after that. It wasn't far away, Alistair. I don't think, maybe a yard past the post.
He was a bit disappointed, just hit the target and make the goalkeeper work for it.
He probably should have hit the target.
Done so well.
You'd have hit the target there on your left foot.
Yeah, probably on my left, yeah. But he gets himself in this fantastic position after a good wee bit of skill. He needs to work the goalkeeper, let him make the save if that's the case. But fantastic play. Well, you just said that, Al. The Rangers have started on the front foot, but this is what can happen quickly. You turn around and they get a big opportunity.
Yeah, and Raskan's given it away to Richardson, although he in turn can't find Mockery, and it's swept up there by Macania. Back to Pandur. Rangers starting the season with 2 draws and 2 defeats. It's simply not good enough, regardless of who the manager is. But Derek McInnes sorely needing a first win as manager of this club, as Chukwani does well to force that to Gassama. Carr trying to stay with him on the left-hand side. He gets into the box. Nadiri's there in front of Gogic. Comes back to Dragojevic, just wide. Oh, he's furious with himself. Right from the edge of the box. Really, a couple of efforts against Hibernian, which flashed past the other post. This time, he's gone inches away, it seemed, from the left-hand post as he looked at the goal. It's a good opportunity again, but just wide, still 0-0.
That's great play for Gassama down the side and gets the ball into the box. But Nadiri actually does really well to hold the ball up. He turns it really, really well and sets it up for a good shot for Dragojevic. And again, Dragojevic. Huh? Is that not right? I must say that wrong. Dragojevic. All right, okay. That's all good. But again, he was also be a wee bit disappointed. He's not working the goalkeeper in that situation.
Yeah, I think he's hit the target, Peter.
Definitely.
You're right to point out that Nadiri's link-up play was excellent. laid it back to him. He's probably just stepping on the 18-yard line and got to be hitting the target. You can see he was furious with himself, although it was not far away at all, probably only a foot at most past the post. But you're right, that's a shot at either side. Both should be working the goalkeepers, Alistair.
I wondered when Naderi got there in front of Gogic, I thought he could actually spin himself and shoot. And I wonder maybe a striker who's scored 2 or 3 goals already this season might have considered that himself.
I think because Dragicevic was such an obvious one in front of him, it made his mind up quickly, and it was the right thing to do.
It's another Rangers corner, right hand side. They have started brightly, albeit they gave up that chance at the other end. St Mirren pulling everyone back here to defend this corner kick. Rangers second of the afternoon. 7 minutes played, no goals as yet in the final tie in the League Cup, although we're still going at extra time. As the ball comes into the penalty area, it's not well dealt with. Fernandez gets up there, and then Raskan with a header over the top of the crossbar. Couldn't rise high enough to get it downwards, and it's behind for a goal kick. Still 0-0. Last we heard between Stenhousemuir and Motherwell. We'll keep you up to date with any goals. It might yet go to penalties, that one. Still 0-0 here, but Rangers enjoying most of the early possession as Sterling finds Raskan back to the halfway line to Fernandez, and then square to Makanya out to the left hand side for Penrice, and back with Makanya. South African has done okay from what I've seen since he's come in, but he, like the rest of the Rangers team, would prefer to be in the winning side, and they failed to do that so far as Pandur plays it out short to Dragicevic. He looks around him and then goes back to the keeper, who then comes out to the left hand side. Makanya then just thumps it forward, looking for Naderi to flick it on. Gets above Fraser. That's a poor back pass from Richardson. It's Gassama going one way, the other. Big chance for Gassama. Great save from Chapman. Still alive though. Naderi into the back of the net. Ryan Naderi flicks it beyond the goalkeeper, and he does have his first goal of the season. Ryan Naderi. Gassama brought out a terrific save from Chapman initially, but the rebound remained alive, and when it found its way back to the head of Naderi, he was able to flick it over the goalkeeper and into the back of the net to make it Rangers 1, St Mirren 0.
What is Jaden Richardson doing? I mean, honestly, it's a criminal error to make that. He tries to pass back to the goalkeeper. He's so short with it. He basically lays in Gassama, who's one-on-one then. Does really well to get onto the left side. Forces a good save from Chapman. I'm not sure he did header it in. I think it came off his side or something.
Yeah, it comes off his body. I think. I don't even think he knows what he's doing. It just hits
just like a deflection almost.
Yeah, exactly.
But a really cheap goal for St Mirren to lose here.
Yeah, I think Gassama for me should do better as well with his finish. As soon as he chops it back, he has to hit it earlier. He waits too long, and Chapman comes out, does extremely well, to be fair, to close down the angle and makes it hard for him. But he has to finish that off himself. But good to see Naderi as well get his goal. That'll maybe settle him down as well and get a wee bit of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although they are checking it for a possible offside. It should be a blow to Rangers, were that to be the final decision. They were on the wrong end of a VAR intervention last weekend against Hibernian.
I think who would have been offside.
No, but is that because the goalkeeper is too far out and then he's not all right, but there would have been 2 people behind the goalkeeper. That was why. So
yeah, goal given, 1-0 Rangers, and well, let's see if they can build on that. It has been a good start by them, you'd have to say, and probably deservedly in front, but Fernandez almost getting himself in trouble. He still might be. Sully through on the left hand side, tries to cut it back, and Fernandez, well, listen to the reaction from the crowd.
Derek McInnes is furious as well down below. Is absolutely
just
raging.
So lax.
Yeah, really. I mean, we see it on a weekly basis from Fernandez, taking these risks, the unnecessary risks, and on that occasion he got his pocket picked. I think it was Mockery who did it. And then it goes to Sully, who couldn't quite get the cutback. So another bodies in the back of the box for the cutback, and he did manage to pick them out, but he did manage to get the corner kick, which Killian Phillips is about to take.
Yeah, left hand side for St Mirren as they look for a quick equaliser. Near post ball headed away by Dragicevic, and then Chukwani helps it on. It'll be gathered by Yokota here on the right hand side. Phillips trying to get back with him, and he does that, holds him up. Lovely little spin away though from the St Mirren player, and Yokota begins a Rangers attack here. Out to the left-hand side now for Penrice. Derek McInnes demands it goes forward early, and it does to Chukwani, who slips away from Fraser. Gets back up, but the referee's going to give the free kick to Rangers and show a yellow card to the St Mirren captain, who seemed to slip. And St Mirren have got to be careful here, because this game could get away from them pretty early on. They haven't really been at the races other than that one effort early on from Sula. 12 minutes in, it's 1-0 Rangers.
It's a very active game, isn't it? It's high tempo. There's a lot of things happening. Rangers has been on the front foot and started very well. Chukwani there, if he can stay on his feet down the side, it could be a very dangerous opportunity for Rangers again, but he goes down, and of course there's a stonewall yellow card, but it's a great opportunity for Rangers now on this free kick.
Yeah, left hand side, it's Penrice over it, but 18 yards out, sends it in, but Gogic wins the header, comes back to Makanya, and then Gassama takes the shot on just from the edge of the box. Just felt him quite nicely, but couldn't keep it on target. A few yards wide in the end from JD Gassama, and it remains Rangers 1. St Mirren now, but what does St Mirren do to turn the tide here, Stephen?
Well, they've got to just kind of stop this pressure that Rangers are putting them under. When they have broken forward, they've looked dangerous, but Rangers are having a lot of possession, and what St Mirren can't do is give away these cheap turnovers in possession, which they're doing quite a lot, and it just gives Rangers the appetite and the ball back to go and start another attack.
But Stephen, do you not think as well, there's still that kind of uncertainty with the fans? You can feel that when the St Mirren players gets forward and looked at, it's a bit nervy.
There is a nervousness.
So there is that opportunity to still have the fans against Rangers if St Mirren starts well again, getting up, got a couple of opportunities.
Here comes St Mirren. Phillips for Sula inside the box, back. It came Sterling to make the intervention. Fernandez clears, Gogic picks up, back out to the left-hand side to Declan John, former Rangers player back in the day, as Carr picks up, and then Mockery once more. Carr trying to get beyond Sterling, makes the challenge and out for a throw-in over on the far side.
It's another wee half chance that for St Mirren, you know. Silly, for me, I don't know why he's trying to chop back in, just get your shot away in space.
Mockery back to the halfway line to Fraser. Perhaps not quite 100% fit, otherwise you'd imagine he'd have been in from the start initially, rather than replacing Donnelly, who got injured in the warm-up. But St Mirren have it through Gogic. They'll play through out to the right-hand side. It comes to Cabia up towards the edge of the box. Let's see what he can do. Slips it to Richardson on the byline. Cut back comes in, headed away by Penrice. Gogic picks up here. That's a loose pass, though. Gassama will get there first ahead of Phillips, and now he's one-on-one against Fraser, who's already been booked. Can he take him on? Up to the edge of the box. Back comes Gogic. He tries to curl it, but he's gone wide a goal again from Gassama. He's always trying to cut in on that right foot and get the shot off, which you can understand, but failing to hit the target. A good breakaway, though. Quarter of an hour in. It's Rangers 1, St Mirren 0.
I just think Mirren is doing really well at times, isn't it? They're playing great football, and it's just these slack.
So cheap, isn't it?
It's personal foul, personal mistakes they make, and it causes Rangers to have big opportunities every time to do so.
Yeah.
And Rangers pounce on it, and there's a big chance. Again, Gassama needs to do better. He needs to hit the target for me. He gets himself good a bit of space and attacking really well, but when he cuts inside, he has to hit the target. He drags the shot wide. But St Mirren, I still think they can cause a problem here, don't they?
They're causing their own problems at the minute.
They're doing that as well,
Here's Dragijevic, the Serbian, a loose touch from Raska, and looks to the heavens as Mockery picks up and plays it back to Phillips on the halfway line. Now Carr, Ryan Carr back to Fraser, who's backpedaling furiously as Gassama attacked him a couple of moments ago. Carr once more plays it short to Gogic, midway inside his own half. 15.5 on the clock, 1-0 Rangers. Ryan Aderi with the goal, his first of the season. As Fernandez plays it square at the back to Penrice. Penrice moves forward and gets it back from Gassama. Down the left-hand side he comes, and Fraser blocks his path, plays it off him. It'll be a St Mirren throw-in. Craig McLeish at the edge of his technical area. Derek McInnes out of his technical area, much to the dismay of the fourth official down there, who's ushering him back in. Craig McLeish won't be panicking yet, as the guys are saying. The St Mirren have looked dangerous at times, but Rangers probably deserving of their one-goal advantage in these early stages. Here's Carr on the halfway line for St Mirren. Pokes it through, trying to get it to Ramos, but Dragijevic was in the way And then Fernandez plays it back to Pandur. He's out short to Raskan, who drops deep. Square to Dragicevic, who brings it forward. 20-year-old signed from Partizan Belgrade. He'll flight out to the left-hand side where Penrice has made a few yards into Gassama. Knocked to the ground by Carr. Not having that one, Stephen?
No, I don't think that's a foul.
He goes in the back of him, to be fair. He doesn't take the ball when he goes into the back of him. It's a soft one, but he has a foul. Come on, Stephen.
I'm not having it. I don't think he knows that Carr's there and he just runs into him. But anyway, they've got a free kick. What's it, 30 yards out?
Yeah, probably a bit closer than that, left of centre. Penrice again over it. We know he's got good delivery from his time at Hearts most recently in terms of his career in Scotland. Played with Athens, of course, last season as they won the title. On loan from them with the option to buy. As he stands over this free kick, left-footed, swings it towards the back post, away by Gogic. Jokitaga's up there, comes to Dragicevic, he goes for goal! Oh, wonderful! Absolutely stupendous strike from Vanja Dragicevic. That is the way to introduce yourself. He's had maybe 3 or 4 shots from distance in the last couple of games and has yet to hit the target. Until now, it just dropped kindly for him, about 25 yards from goal, and he caught it so sweetly. Absolutely no chance for Chapman in the St Mirren goal. It is Rangers 2, St Mirren 0.
That's an absolutely outstanding finish for Dragicevic. It's incredible. I have to say as well, the cross in from Penrice is not really the best. It doesn't really, it just causes problem when the ball flies up in the air and it drops to Dragicevic, and his touch, you can see he wants to do it right away. As soon as the ball drops on his chest and he takes that one touch on his chest, he sets himself up for the finish. And he strikes is incredible, and his top corner, nothing to do with the goalkeeper. It's an absolutely outstanding goal.
There'll not be a better goal scored than that today, I tell you that right now. Takes it in his chest, as you rightly point out, Peter, and then takes it flush in the volley. And how many times have you done that? And Shannon Whitburn has gone over the bar or like into the stand or whatever. He caught it so perfectly right into the top corner. You're right, Alistair, it's not what Chapman could have done in the St Mirren goal. Brilliant from Dragicevic.
Yeah, very good technique, and here he is picking the ball up in midfield and driving Rangers forward once again. Rangers trying to keep their foot on the gas here, out to the right-hand side for Jokita, up against Declan John, trying to come inside then outside, into the penalty area he comes, turns back, then delivers it to the near post, but Chapman gathers and immediately fires it forward, looking for Sule. Fernandez will come across here. Sule on the right-hand side for St Mirren. Well, he went beyond Fernandez and then he crashes to the ground, and the yellow card's coming out for Fernandez, who pretty much wiped him out, and St Mirren will get the free kick just outside the box to the right-hand side. A chance to respond here.
Rangers, Derek McInnes won't be happy. I mean, it's a straight kick from the goalkeeper that basically puts Sule almost in a 1v1 situation with Fernandez. He knocks it through his legs, and then the big defender brought him to the ground. I don't think the referee was left with any other option than to give the yellow card there, Peter.
No, it's still a yellow card, but what about the pass from Chapman? It's an absolute amazing side volley. He just puts him in there, and he creates that with that kind of kick out that he goes in a 1v1 here. Fernandez has to do better. He just let him osh him out the outside, and he gets kind of nutmegged, and it's a Stonewall yellow card. And now is a good opportunity for St Mirren here in a free kick in a wide area.
Yeah, right hand side, it's Killian Phillips over it, swings it into the middle. It's a good ball, and Fraser, oh, he's only about 10 yards out, and he's got to get over it, but he sends it way over the top. It's a really good opportunity to get on the score sheet. Let me come back to you, Stephen, because there's been a goal at Stenhousemuir against Motherwell. Let's hear who it's for. Kerradine Insan.
There's a major shock on the cards here, because Stenhousemuir have just taken a 1-0 lead with 7 minutes of extra time left. At substitute Ewan O'Reilly. Steny deserve this. The goal's been coming. They've hit the post. Motherwell goalkeepers had to make a couple of outstanding saves. Motherwell have been really poor by their standards. Stenhousemuir are taking advantage. They lead by a 1-0. 6 minutes of extra time remaining.
Well, what a few months it's been for Steny.
And for Big Marvin.
Yeah, indeed.
My old teammate. He's done really, really well. Pleased for him.
Yeah, up to the championship in the summer, and now looking to oust Motherwell from the League Cup. Here comes Gassama, and Fraser getting there just before him to knock it behind for another Rangers corner, but you'd have to say, Peter, we mentioned a potential nervousness about Rangers, but actually you'd have to say they're performing pretty well and pretty positively.
Yeah, they have. They've responded really well. They've created good opportunities. I had to say there though,
Marcus Fraser's header.
It's completely on his own, and he doesn't even hit the target.
So bad.
That's where they probably wished they had a Stephen
Massive
Thompson by
chance.
there. Could have been a header there.
I'd have got it on target at least.
Penrice swings in the corner, out swinger. Fernandes gets something on at the back post. It's blasted off Fernandes. How has that stayed out? Naderi with the shot at the back post somehow kept out. It then came off Fernandes and still it wouldn't go in. And St Mirren survived. That could so easily and perhaps should have been 3-0 to Rangers. We win it back here, and you can hear the crowd getting behind them. Almost the first time this season they are seeing their side play with the kind of passion and drive expected of them.
I'll tell you what a lift it will give those players as well, Alistair. Been out on that pitch, you know, they've been getting dogs abuse and the confidence is low, and you kind of go into a shell. Maybe you don't want the ball as much, but when the crowd get behind them here at Ibrox, it lifts these players, and you can see it in the performance.
Here's Dragicevic into Chikwane, somehow finds its way through to Gassama, 25 yards from goal. Penrice is on the run. Gassama off the underside of the bar. Naderi on the rebound. Chapman gets there first. Naderi goes down, claimed for a penalty, nothing given. Play continues when Naderi prone on the turf.
Do you think that went in?
No, I don't think it went in.
Surely there'll be goal line technology with that.
No, I don't have goal line technology.
No, even with the watch? No, I don't have it on the watch.
No.
No.
This is Scotland, Peter.
Can't afford it. You're not in Denmark now, mate. I thought it looked as though it might have crossed the line, but it did look like it went in. When it come off the underside of the bar. This will be interesting.
It was some effort.
I'd love to have a monitor to be able to see it, but
it was an incredible effort, to be fair, from Gassama. I was kind of looking, why is he not playing it outside? Penrice. Completely open on the left-hand side, but what a finish, you know, it's an unbelievable shot. And I thought, Tom, I think you're right. I thought it looked over the line, but I thought, no, his watch has not gone into the canopy. I got that completely wrong.
VAR will be taking a look at it, you can be assured of that.
It's possible that there's an angle through VAR that might or might not show it.
Are you getting information from somebody?
No, I'm not. No,
I'm
just telling you that sometimes VAR can look at it and can see if they can tell if it crossed the line.
Yeah.
But unless it's completely conclusive, they won't.
It has to be
give it
100%.
And they definitely don't. They won't have a camera on the goal line, and we definitely don't have the chip in the ball.
There's a guy down there, cameraman. See him, Alistair, on the goal line.
Well, he is now. A Steadicam operator, but he wouldn't have been there when the shot came in, I wouldn't imagine. So Gassama denied by the frame of the goal. Naderi is currently down getting treatment because he went for the rebound with Chapman. Chapman was able to get himself back off the ground quickly enough to kind of punch it clear. I think he caught Naderi in the process. That's why Rangers were claiming for a penalty. No suggestion that that's being checked or it will be being checked, but that's a serious check. So Naderi's back up and will be helped off the pitch. And equally, they were hearing VAR saying that the ball hits the line, so no goal, and the keeper also gets back up and punches the ball. And if he catches Naderi at all, it's not deemed significant enough. So it remains 2-0, but Gassama very close to a third. And
I think that would have rivaled Dragicevic's goal. That was unbelievable.
Oh yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
But ball's back in play then. Naderi making his way to the touchline. He'll have to stay off for the minute. The fourth official showed him his watch, having received treatment. So he'll take the opportunity to get a wee drink. And the ball goes back to Pandura. Played just 25.5 minutes. It's Rangers leading by 2-0, and it's probably a fairly accurate reflection of how the game has gone. St Mirren have had a couple of glimpses of goal, but haven't worked Pandura as yet. As Naderi prepares to come back on here, Fernandes plays it back to Pandura once more at the edge of his penalty area. Penrice calling for it left-hand side. It goes more central than that. Up goes Fraser to win it just inside his own half. Raskin beats Phillips in the jump. I mean, I'm not sure how that happens because Phillips is a good 5 inches taller than him.
Yeah.
And also quite decent in the air.
We know how good Raskin is in the air.
We do. It's just an incredible leap, isn't it?
Yeah.
Free kick to St Mirren as an offside against Rangers, taken by Gogic. St Mirren have won 5 of their 6 this season, losing only to Dunfermline in the League Cup. They sit 5 points above Rangers in the league. As well, Sula's claiming that Fernandes was having a little pull as he ran in behind, and Fernandes has already been booked.
I think that's why.
So
I think that's why John Beaton didn't get involved, because he knows that if he had done, he'd have had to have gone off the pitch. But certainly looked as though he had a wee pull at Sula.
It's Sterling right hand side into Dragicevic. He's lost out, and it breaks for Phillips. So just about 10 yards inside the Rangers half back now, though, with Gogic, who plays it forward to Ramos, who's been kept relatively quiet so far. St Mirren give it away straight to Macania. Sterling right hand side, forward for Dragicevic, helps it on to Yokota. He slides it forward for Nadiri. Nadiri coming up towards the edge of the box, plays it into Chukwani about 25 yards from goal, spins to his left. Now Gassama on the edge of the box, Penrice is with him. Gassama's going to go for goal again. He doesn't catch this one nearly as well as the last one, and it trundles into the arms of Jacob Chapman, and it remains after almost 28 minutes. Rangers 2, St Mirren 0.
Yeah, on that occasion there, I think he chose the wrong option going for the shot. His body's round about him. Penrest to his left hand side. He obviously fancied it because his last one was so good, but he dragged that one into the ground.
Dragicevic back to Macania. Still Steny leading Motherwell by a goal to nil deep in extra time at Ochil View. That would be a real scalp. I know that Motherwell made a number of changes for the game, but nonetheless, the way they had started the season. I remember Falkirk having bother ended up taking penalties to beat Stennismuir last season in the Scottish Cup. Here's Dragicevic out to Yokota, right hand side, low ball in, is not a good one, blocked by Gogic and picked up at the edge of the box by St Mirren, who'll try and feed it forward here for Mokri. Back goes Macania, shows a good turn of pace to get there ahead of Mokri, then plays it back to the goalkeeper, applauded by the home fans. Good composure from the man who was brought in from Philadelphia Union in the summer after 3 seasons there. And it's full time at Ochil View. Let's get a quick full time wrap from Kerridine.
It's finished. Stenhousemuir 1, Motherwell 0. A major shock here. It's the Warriors who march on in the League Cup, and Motherwell's cup jinx, if you like, continues. It was the only real blip for them in an otherwise wonderful season last term. They went out early in both cups. They are out early here in Ochil View as well. The goal came late as well. It came from Ewan O'Reilly, who is a substitute for Stenhousemuir. It's his low composed finish with just 7 minutes of extra time left, which is the difference between these two sides, but they were well worthy of their win. They hit the post earlier.
Well, it's lashed into the back of the net, but I think that's going to be Oh, you're shaking your head, Stephen. But
no, it's because you said it equalised. It's 2-0.
That's what.
It's now 2-1. It's now 2-1.
Oh, that is a phenomenal finish as well from Chris Mokri, given away in the middle of the park by Dragicevic, and Mokri latched onto it and lashed it beyond Ivor Pandur, and St Mirren will have not equalised, so my apologies, but they are back in the game, and it's another terrific goal.
What a goal. I mean, it really is. It's poor from Rangers, and Derek McInnes will not be happy at all. The goals that Rangers have conceded this season so far have all been very avoidable, and that was another one. But you've got to give Chris Mokri so much credit. When it opens up for him, he's about 20 yards out, and he just put his foot right through it. It's a tremendous strike into the top corner past Pandur.
Yeah, I was so taken by Kerridine's description of Stennismuir putting Motherwell out of the League Cup by a goal to nil. So a real shock there, and Dragicevic, after scoring such a wonderful goal himself, has just allowed St Mirren right back into this, presenting the ball in the midfield to Chris Mockray, who took a couple of steps and then hammered it beyond Pandur. Unstoppable shot as well from him as Nadiri runs the ball out of play. Yeah, I was forgetting that Dragicevic had scored that second goal for Rangers.
How could you forget that?
I'm not really sure, but anyway, so no equaliser, but it is indeed Rangers 2, St Mirren 1, and Chris Mockray gets his second goal of the campaign, second goal in the League Cup indeed. As Rangers have it in an advanced area, be looking to re-establish that advantage as quickly as possible.
It seems to be a wee bit of the theme of the game, isn't it? When personal mistakes from each team causes goals, and it's like there's so many of them out there for both teams.
McCann out to the left-hand side for Penrice. Back to McCann. Rascan in the middle of the park, harried there by Carr. Gets it to Sterling just inside the St Mirren half. Now into Yokota, just coming off that right flank for once, and then clips it over the top of Mockray to McCann. Back out to the left-hand side for Penrice, and then onto the halfway line from McCann once again. Penrice made a run, but hasn't been found. As Rangers go back the way, Fernandez getting the ball trapped under his foot, then turns it back to his goalkeeper under pressure from Sula, and then Pandur clears up to Penrice, who was coming back from an offside position, and so it'll be a free kick to St Mirren just inside their own half. We've now played 33 minutes. It's Rangers 2, St Mirren 1, but that positivity that was bubbling round Ibrox has kind of dissipated with the Mockray goal.
Yeah, I think now the nerves are kind of coming back into the crowd a wee bit here at Ibrox, and you know, St Mirren has not really been out of it. Yes, they've looked dangerous when they're going forward, and of course a personal mistake from Dragicevic causes an unbelievable strike. You know, that was a fantastic goal. He's had two fantastic goals tonight and today, and it's been it's an open game. I think St Mirren will give them a bit of confidence now to come back into this and think they get a chance to at least come with something. And of course Rangers has also looked dangerous the other way, but I think the personal mistakes of both teams is causing the problems on both teams.
Here's Declan John coming forward down the left-hand side. And back goes Sterling, makes the challenge, break to John once more, and that attempted cross is blocked by Sterling. Throw into St Mirren with about 11 minutes left in this first period. John potentially lining up a long throw. Now he goes back the way to Gogic, about 15 yards inside the Rangers half. Now into Fraser in the centre circle, back out to Gogic on the left. St Mirren now looking for an equaliser as Mockray's brought them back into it. Ball forwards, a loose one from Gogic, knocked out of play by Fernandez. St Mirren certainly will be encouraged, having got on the score sheet.
Well, they know that there's opportunities to score against Rangers. I mean, I think that's the thing.
Dragicevic picks the ball up midway inside his own half. Naderi's dragged to the ground off the ball, but play continues. Gassama picks up, spins away from Fraser, looks up now, plays it to the right-hand side. Naderi's picked himself up and plays it out to Yokota, right-hand side. Dances away from Ramos, coming in field. He's gone for goal, and it's a good stop from Chapman. Get down low to scoop it wide with the right hand behind for a corner. Decent effort from Yokota. With 10 minutes of the half to go, it's still Rangers 2, St Mirren 1.
Yeah, it's a fantastic play from Yokota. Then he cuts inside the pitch onto the left foot. He's far out, and you know you would expect the goalkeeper to save it, but it's an awkward one for the goalie.
Wasn't it? It bounced right in front of him.
But it does. But it's a good save. But I would think he would be disappointed if he got beat from that.
I didn't know Yokota had that in the lock on the left foot. Good effort.
Penrice with the corner kick from the left-hand side. Out swinger into the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by Gogic. Returned this time by Dragicevic, didn't catch a hold of that one, and wide of goal. 9 minutes until the interval, and Rangers continue to lead by 2-1. As Gogic prepares to take the goal kick here. Just plays it short to Chapman inside his own 6-yard box, and then launches it long. Won by McCann in the air above Richardson, who's gone high up the park. Challenge there on Phillips is penalised. Penrice made it, and St Mirren get the free kick a few yards inside the Rangers half. Loose one back to Phillips, but will be picked up by Gogic, and then back to Fraser. St Mirren just playing the ball at the back for the moment. Gogic out to the left-hand side. Sula's drifted out there for the moment. Back in field to Carr. Closed down by Dragicevic. Gogic gets out to the left-hand side there. And Jokic making the challenge, but Carr picks up on the loose ball. He goes down under the tackle made by Raskan. Free kick to St Mirren. A little bit scrappy just at the moment. As the free kick's taken, and Fraser plays it out to Cabia, who I haven't seen too much of in his debut thus far. Back to Fraser, midway inside his own half, square to Gogic. Rangers fans a lot more subdued than they were before that St Mirren goal went in, as the ball's played up to Sula. Out to the right hand side now for Cabia. Richardson's in support of him. Cabia coming in field, slides it behind Phillips, and Raskan can tidy up, and then Gassama looking for Naderi, who does get the better of Gogic, but it breaks quite kindly for Fraser, and St Mirren pick up once more, looking to finish this half the stronger of the two sides, trailing by 2-1. Sula again out on that left hand side, looking to get the better of Sterling. He's gone beyond him. Sterling gets back to make the challenge, but it will be a corner to St Mirren, as they press for an equaliser here.
He did well there, Sula, on the left hand side. He's drifted out there a few times in the last 10 minutes, picked the ball up, driving down the line past Sterling. Sterling getting back at the very last gasp to give away the corner kick. Killian Phillips again, in swinger.
Yeah, Phillips out on that left-hand side. Take this one right-footed. St Mirren get plenty of bodies inside the 6-yard box as they look to threaten this Rangers goal and get themselves on level terms. And it comes from Phillips. It's a deep one. Oh, it's too deep. It's a really poor one from Killian Phillips, and Dave McLeish just kind of scratches his head, wondering what his midfielder was doing there, because his delivery is usually spot on, but not on that occasion. It's still Rangers 2, St Mirren 1, 38 and a half played.
There's nothing worse than that. It's just so wasteful, isn't it? That's 7 minutes before half-time, and you've got an opportunity on a corner kick, and you put in a delivery like that. It's very disappointing. It's frustrating for the manager as well. So
Nadiri gets a flick on. Chikwani picks up. Challenge comes in from Phillips. Referee thought that was fair. Chikwani stayed down. Did come in slightly from behind. I thought he took plenty of the ball though. Clearly John Beaton did too. Now Cabia goes down under pressure from Penrice, and that's given us a free kick, and you can hear what the Rangers fans think of it. But
he did come through the back of Chikwani, did Killian Phillips. I think he does get a bit of the ball. It's whether or not he kind of caught Chikwani in the process.
it's good to see McInnes is standing here telling Chikwani he could just get up. Like he's shouting at him on the pitch, like, get up.
Macania just knocks that back to Pandur. It's a slightly awkward touch though from the goalkeeper, who's then put under pressure from Sula. Again, Derek McInnes away out of his technical area, waving his players back into defensive positions.
Pandur should do better, but the pass to him isn't great from Macania. You know, he's put him under pressure with the pass.
Thrown into Ramos inside the penalty area. Comes back to Ramos, and that's not a bad effort. Eventually just curls away from goal and behind for a goal kick. But again, St Mirren have had opportunities in this first half. They trail by 2-1, but as Stephen's already mentioned, Peter, Rangers are going to allow opposition teams chances. Just depends how many they can take.
Yeah, definitely. But you can see it, though, the confidence in the St Mirren players. They kind of feel like they have a chance here to get something and to do an upset. So, you know, Rangers are not making themselves any favours with the way they're playing at times. But also up to St Mirren to take the chances when they do get them.
Macania trying to shield the ball down near his own corner flag. He's just knocked the ball out in the end under real pressure from Carr. It was good pressure. So St Mirren have a throw-in down virtually at the corner flag on their right-hand side, which will be taken by Richardson. Back to Carr it goes. Tries to clip it forward for Cabia. He's closed down by Penrice. I think this time it'll be a corner kick, which Declan John's going to trot across to take. Left-footed. This will be an in-swinger. He'll be looking for a better delivery than Killian Phillips got a few moments ago from the opposite side. As St Mirren search for a second goal here at Ibrox to level things up just before the interval. 4 minutes left of the opening 45. Declan John, we know he's capable of good delivery from set pieces. What can he produce here? With the left foot on the right hand side, and it comes right on top of the keeper. Fernandez goes up and wins it, flicked on there by Gassama. Yokota picks up, Rangers on the counter. What's Yokota's speed like? He plays it back to Gassama. Gassama now one-on-one with Ryan Carr, comes inside, still it's Gassama. Can he find room for the shot? Back to Nadiri, he goes for goal. That's blocked by Fraser, and comes out to Dragajevic. Counter is over for now, and then Declan John picks up on the pass from Dragajevic, and now St Mirren come forward on the counter. Sula just gets it back out to the left hand side for Mokri. The St Mirren comes back to the halfway line. It's John back to Gogic once more, but it's a good counter from Rangers, but again just the finishing product was lacking.
Yeah, it's Gassama again, and quite often, I think Pierre mentioned it before the game, his final action, his last wee bit of the jigsaw sometimes isn't good. He does everything right, cuts inside, but doesn't get the shot away, and then eventually lays it back to Naderi, who does get the shot in. But he's dangerous, but sometimes his decision making isn't as good as it could be.
As well as a good counter for Rangers, it's also from defensive play from St Mirren to manage to get back behind the ball quickly, and they got a lot of bodies there chasing back and putting a big effort in to get back and block the ball. And yeah, it's a good spell for both there.
Here's John just outside the Rangers penalty area, out to Sula left hand side, sends it to the back post. Up goes Penrice to win the header, brought down by Gassama on the edge of his own box, then thumps it, but it's higher than it is. Got distance on it, and then Macania tries to clear up towards the halfway line. Naderi backing in there with Fraser, then chases his own flick on. What do you make of Naderi's performance up as that lone striker?
I think he's grown into the game. I think his hold-up play has actually been good today at times. There's been some good bit where he can lay the balls off, and of course he got his goal. I don't think he knew much about it, to be fair, but it was he was in the right position, and you know Stephen knows that as much as anybody. Number 9, they just need to get the ball
Sula
back
into the box. Sorry, Peter, that was a dangerous looking ball. Beat everyone though, and eventually comes right out to the left-hand side and kept in by Gassama. Back to Penrice, just outside his own penalty area. Forward looking for Naderi, but Fraser's first to it. Chukwani steps back in. Naderi goes down under the challenge by Carr. Play continues as Macania has it just at the edge of his box, knocks it back to Pandur. Just about to enter the final minute of the opening 45. Pandur has it just on his own penalty spot here. Rangers leading by 2-1 against St Mirren. They did lead 2-0, but a mistake by Dragajevic allowed Mokri to lash in a wonderful goal for St Mirren. So they're right in it as Chukwani plays it out to the right hand side for Sterling here, but 25 yards from goal. Just flicks it on for Dragajevic, right hand side, into the box it comes. Gogic first to it, Gassama gets his head to it, Richardson high in the air. Raskan attacks it, gets there just before Kabia. But Richardson manages to get it back to Fraser, who plays it forwards. A nice ball for Mokri, gets turned and plays it to Kabia right hand side. St Mirren crossing the halfway line. Rangers backpedaling, don't want to concede an equaliser before the interval. Macania's done well though, gets himself in between ball and man, then falls to the ground, grabs the ball, and the referee obliges with the free kick. The fourth official shows us there will be 3 minutes added on at the end of this first half, of which we begin the first just now as Pandur prepares to take the goal kick. Rangers started the game pretty positively, got that 2-goal advantage, but it's their own worst enemies once again, allowing St Mirren back into it. Raskan goes down, claiming he was shoved, but the referee's having none of that, and it will be out for a throw into St Mirren here, just down below us, just in front of Craig McLeish's technical area. Again, the young St Mirren manager right at the edge of that technical area, getting his instructions on to his players as the throw-in's taken down the right for Kabia. Out-muscled though by Penrice. Raskin plays it forward to Nadiri, who works it back to Gassama. A little back heel allows Chukwani to take over, but he runs into Nadiri. The ball comes off Nadiri's heel and falls kindly for Richardson, just as Rangers were looking to progress there in injury time. It's Carr trying the long ball forwards. Fernandes keeps his eye on it, nods it down, but it falls to Mokri. Mokri can't find a teammate, and it's Yokota picking up just inside his own half. Up towards the halfway line he comes, Japanese winger. He's lost it though, and Carr picks up. And now Phillips works it out to John. Perhaps a final 40 forwards in added on time here for St Mirren. Declan John left hand side, midway inside the Rangers half. Back it comes to Phillips. Infield to Fraser, inside the centre circle. The captain plays it back to Phillips, who gets it back again from Carr. Closed down by Dragicevic. The ball forward, Rangers have cut it out. They've got three advanced here. Phillips tries to cut it out, but Chukwani picks up, plays it for Yokota. Rangers have got a man over here if they can do it quickly, but Yokota's turned the wrong way. He's gone down, but John Beaton's given them a free kick. Last minute of stoppage time here. Rangers have the free kick, leading by 2-1.
Yeah, Rangers' performance for a spell in that first half was really, really good, but they kind of lost a wee bit of steam last 10, I'd say 15 minutes. In an attacking sense, they've not really looked as dangerous going forward. St Mirren have enjoyed a bit more of the ball.
Sterling with a free kick from the right hand side up towards the edge of the box. Chukwani flicks it on. Nadiri can't get past Gogic, who, as ever, is an impressive figure at the back for St Mirren. Sterling, though, picks it back up for Rangers, gets it back again from Yokota, and then out to the right hand side to Dragicevic. In for Nadiri, can't bring it under control, and St Mirren able to clear. And Phillips finds Mokri, and then Dragicevic catching Ramos late, and that'll be a free kick to St Mirren. But we've now played the 3 minutes of added on time, and that'll be pretty much that. In fact, there goes the half-time whistle. Very entertaining first period at Ibrox. Rangers starting really positively and getting themselves 2 goals ahead inside 18 minutes. The first one came after a Jayden Richardson back pass was easy for Gassama to latch onto. His effort was saved, but the rebound was ultimately flicked in by Ryan Nadiri for his first goal of the season. And then, 18 minutes in, a wonderful strike. It fell to Dragicevic. He chested it down, and as it dropped, he caught it sweetly from about 22 yards out, right into the top corner, beyond the outstretched palm of Jacob Chapman. And that was 2-0 to Rangers. Marcus Fraser had a chance to reduce the deficit a couple of minutes later, but headed over the top from a really good position. And then Gassama curled a beauty again past the outstretched Chapman, but off the underside of the bar, and it bounced away to safety. And then Rangers gave St Mirren a real gift. The ball was presented to Mokri by Dragicevic just after the half-hour mark, and he drove forward before lashing a really good effort beyond the outstretched palm of Pandur to make it 2-1. Yokota with the last meaningful effort of the first period, but that was well saved by Chapman. And so at half-time at Ibrox in the League Cup second round, it's Rangers 2, St Mirren 1.
Rangers versus St Mirren.
The Scottish League Cup, live on Sportsound on BBC Radio Scotland.
This Saturday show is filled with very interesting people every Saturday morning.
Journalists, comedians and special guests in the studio to dissect the week's news. Very interesting.
Athletes and sports pundits to preview the weekend's sporting fixtures. Well, they sound interesting.
And of course you, the real VIPs, listening as you go about your Saturday morning and sending us in some very interesting messages.
I thought you meant like me, like I was interesting.
You're a different kind of interesting though, Stephen. You're more like of international interest in medical science kind of interesting.
Oh, thanks very much, Amy. Thanks.
The Saturday Show with Amy Irons and Stephen Mill. Saturday at 9 a.m. on BBC Radio Scotland and Sounds.
This is Sunday Sports Sound with me, Richard Gordon. It's been a busy afternoon so far. We'll get reaction from some of the other grounds for those earlier matches. Stenhousemuir have made all the headlines with a 1-0 win against Motherwell in extra time. Ewan O'Reilly with his second goal of the season, 6 minutes from the end of that additional period. So well done to Marvin Bartley and Stenhousemuir. They are through to the quarter-finals. The draw will be live with us a little bit later in this programme. So Stenhousemuir 1, Motherwell 0, Hibernian 1, Partick Thistle 0, Owen Elding with the only goal there. And some game at Tynecastle, Hearts making a lot of changes. They were ahead early through Christian Borgrevink. Caley Thistle turned it around with 2 goals in 2 minutes in the second half. Ryan Duncan and Alfie Bavidge. But Hearts started to put on the subs, and they, according to Alan Preston, were absolutely outstanding in the closing part of the game. Rogers Mato scored. Calvin Miller got a couple, one from the spot. James Wilson and Claudio Braga also on target in a 6-2 win for Heart of Midlothian. And the SWPL up and running this afternoon. First round of league matches. Hibernian thumped Motherwell 7-0. Aoife Colville with 4 goals in that one. Rangers, after being held for quite some time, were 4-1 winners against Montrose. It finished 1-1 between the Spartans and Partick Thistle. And in the games currently underway at half-time, it's Hearts 3, Aberdeen 0. Johns, Speckmeyer and Dolan all on target. And Celtic have just gone in front 2-1 away to Glasgow City. They'd gone ahead through Forest, but Gibson own goal. Lee Gibson, the goalkeeper, and then Morgan as they put Celtic in front. So 2-1 it is for Celtic women there. In the English Community Shield into stoppage time, it's Arsenal 3, Manchester City 0. Goals from Calafiore, Havertz and Odegaard. And in the English Championship, Watford beat Southampton 2-1, and West Ham are 1-0 up at half-time away to Burnley. Let's get to that game at Ochilview then. Stenhousemuir coming out on top against Premiership Motherwell. Gertie Nidsan was our reporter at the game.
Stenhousemuir have stunned Motherwell, and they are through to the quarter-finals of the League Cup. It's absolutely deserved for the Warriors. They were the better team against a much changed Motherwell side, but nonetheless it was the Championship outfit who maintained their unbeaten start to the season under new manager Marvin Bartley. The goal came late. It was in extra time. 7 minutes were left on the clock when substitute Ewan O'Reilly calmly found the corner of the net to flatten Motherwell's resolve. That was the only goal of the game, but Stenhousemuir had all the better chances. They hit the post earlier in extra time when Lewis O'Donnell's marvellous effort from just outside the edge of the area came back off the inside of the post. Substitute Gus Stevenson had a couple of brilliant chances in the regulation 90 minutes to win it for Stenhousemuir. They needed extra time, but they got the job done. It's Stenhousemuir who shock Motherwell and go through to the last 8 of the Premier Sports Cup.
A remarkable performance and victory for Stenhousemuir, unbeaten now in 12 games, stretching all the way back to the conclusion of last season when, of course, they battled their way up into the Championship. So Stenhousemuir 1, Motherwell 0. Hibernian 1-0 against Partick Thistle. We'll get reaction from that one a little bit later. Let's hear now from Hearts after that 6-2 win against Caley Thistle. An incredible game, and the goals went flowing in the final 10 minutes or so for the home side. The reaction now of their manager, Wouter Franken.
Wouter, 6-2 the scoreline, you're through to the last 8. Does that give a true reflection of the game?
Yeah, I think so. I think we didn't give too much chances away, actually. Only the 5 minutes in second half, and then we have to be more, a little bit more direct. We can, of course, search spaces, and at some moments we played too low, too naive. And then you let them come into the game, and then when you speed up a little bit, and you see that it's again much easier to take the game to us.
Are you learning more about the players every time they go onto the pitch, because you gave more players today more game time?
Yeah, 100%. That's also the aim, and they have to show it what is needed, and especially in energy, and then we can evaluate them, and I think some that good, some maybe not that good, but again it's good that everybody has a little bit more minutes in the legs.
In terms of just reaching the last 8, you're only in the door a few weeks. You've had some incredible European matches. You've got another one coming up on Thursday, but you're now in the quarter-finals of a cup competition.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice. It was also the goal, of course, and we were also the favourites to go through the next round. So I think we did what we had to do, and also we kept calm when we get behind and take our moments. Didn't panic. This is all good. So 2 difficult European games coming now.
Yeah, what do you make of Rapid so far? I mean, I know they're playing later on this evening as well, I believe.
Yeah, Rapid is just a good team. I think on the ball they're better than, for example, Sturm Graz. They have a similar style in pressing, so they want to press forward high and strong. But I think on the ball they're a little bit better in playing football. So a strong side, 100%. But in Europe, especially when you're on the unseeded side of the draw, then you always get a big team to play against in each round. So again, we have to be ready, fit, and with a lot of conviction and belief that we can take something there.
Wouter Vranken, it's been a hell of a start to his Hearts managerial career, during which in the past, it's not even a month since they started playing competitive matches, they've lost 4-0 and won 4-0, lost 6-1 and won 6-2. I think it's going to be a roller coaster watching Vranken's side, you'd imagine, in the coming season. So 6-2 it was. Let's hear what the Caley Thistle gaffer Scott Kelleher made of that defeat.
For 82 minutes, Brian, I can't ask for much more, if I'm being honest with you. You know, and the fact that they've had to bring on their big guns, you know, to try and change the game and to try and get something out. Yeah, the last 10 minutes we've absolutely just gone. The boys were dead on their feet. I can't ask for much more than the score. Certainly isn't a reflection on the game, in my opinion, you know. But first half we were anywhere near at our best. We got a wee bit sort of spooked in the first half a little bit, but we had to try and implement what we wanted to do. We had a game plan, you need to stick to it and you need to believe in what you do, you know. We got a good chat with them at half time, which we just says, listen, need that little bit more belief. We need to be thinking of forward runs a little bit more and a little bit more movement when we're on the ball. And then I thought, brilliant, couldn't have asked for better than what we got at the start of the second half, you know, and we're 2-1 up, and then it's try to just see it out for that next 5-10 minutes because you know they're going to come after you. And that's exactly what they did, you know. And listen, I just think the last 10 minutes we just blew up. But listen, I can't be any more prouder of them. As I say, lots of positives to take from it, Brian, but I think we'll learn a lot as well, especially with the last 10 minutes, mate. And that's all I ask, is that they give their all every single week. And they certainly did that today, but I thought that it was a harsh reflection, the scoreline.
First defeat of the season for Caley Thistle. Next in action on Friday night. Sports Scene Live, what a game that could be in the Highlands. Caley Thistle against Partick Thistle. Make sure you join the guys for that on the BBC Scotland channel. So, Heart of Midlothian, Hibernian, Stenhousemuir, all through from today. Kilmarnock, Aberdeen, Ross County, Celtic, all through in the last couple of days. We've just got this one tie we're waiting to be resolved. At half-time, it's Rangers who have the advantage. Fair to say, Stephen Thompson, you could not have seen two different types of goals for Rangers. Ryan Nadiri kind of bundles the first one in with his thigh.
But couldn't really work out. Was it his thigh it hit off?
Yeah, so it's as it's delivered back, and I think it actually comes off Gogic's head. It bounces in his direction. He moves towards it. He puts his leg out, but it definitely hits his thigh, perhaps rolls up his side, and it just gives it enough elevation over Chapman. Yeah, well, that one counts, but Vanja Dragicevic, his one counts. I know it's the same, but it counts even more. Strike. It must be. You guys must have had this in your career. Just there must be a moment where you just catch the ball and you just know instantly you've caught it.
Not
as sweet
often,
as a nut.
I don't think Stephen did.
Very good, Pedro. No, it's a lovely feeling when it happens, and he just caught it so sweetly. His chest control was brilliant to set it up in the first place, and you just saw his kind of eyes light up as he hit it, and right into the top corner. Goalkeeper, no chance. I mean, an incredible strike. It really was superb.
But of course, St Mirren hit back, and Chris Mockery bemused Al Lamont, who didn't have his calculator by his hand and got all confused with the scoreline. But it was a magnificent strike from Chris Mockery as well, guys.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you know, when you've got that amount of time and space at the edge of the box, sometimes your mind can play tricks with you. But he just put his foot right through it, and he caught it so sweetly. And got a lot of power behind it, which gave Pander no chance in the Rangers goal. And St Mirren have had a couple of kind of wee openings in that first half that they probably should have done better with.
Sule
one past the post,
and
you've got the
free header.
Fraser header, yeah. And there was another couple of wee half-sniff moments. So they know that they're going to get opportunities in this second half. And whilst it's only 2-1, they're very much still in the game. I think Rangers will be disappointed in that they lost a wee bit of control. With 2-0 up, you know, they're thinking, go and get the third and the game's done sort of thing. And they had a bit of momentum but that drifted a bit as the half wore on. I think losing the goal as well, maybe just lost a wee bit of confidence and didn't look quite as potent for the last 10 minutes of that half.
Yeah, there was one other moment. It was a magnificent strike again by Jedi Gassama. Hits the underside of the bar. It comes down on the line. There's no way it's over the line. It comes down smack on the line, and then Chapman manages to scramble it away. Derek McInnes, Peter, would have been desperate, wouldn't he, to go in at 2-0. No real kind of pressure on them at that stage and feeling good about themselves. They have been kind of rocked a wee bit by St Mirren getting that goal.
Yeah, definitely. I think McInnes would be kind of annoyed that he doesn't go into half-time 2-0 up, because again it comes from a self-inflicted mistake on the middle of the pitch, gives the ball away. Of course, it's a fantastic strike, and it took something special to beat the goalie, and you surely did that. But yeah, he'll be frustrated that he's not, because they have been looking dangerous at times. But I have to be honest, St Mirren, you know, we talked about it as well, me and Stephen, on the commentary, that they haven't been looking out of it. You know, they've looked dangerous at times when they've been going forward. They just needed that kind of quality in finishing and at least work the goalkeeper at times. Then there are definitely opportunities for them, and if the way Rangers play as well, they will get more of them probably second half. They'll be happy that they're still in the game in this stage. Coming out the second half, they think they can probably go and get something. So it's important for both managers now, especially for McInnes, to kind of get it right and get started the second half in the same way they did the first half, and then the other way around. You know, they want to start the second half the way they finished the first half. So it'll be very interesting to see how the tempo of the game starts in the second half.
Players will be back out shortly. No indication or any thoughts, guys, in terms of any potential substitutions for either side?
No, I've not really seen any. I'm normally rubbish at this game anyway, but there's nobody down in the kind of tunnel area looking like they're going to be getting stripped.
Does either manager need to think about changes at this point?
Not yet, I don't think, no. I'd imagine, given Rangers' schedule, that Derek McInnes would be keen to kind of make substitutions and freshen his team up with the amount of games that they've had, and obviously another big game coming up on Thursday evening. So, but from St Mirren's point of view, they'll be quite pleased if they can keep it at 2-1. The stadium will get nervy as the game goes on, and they'll feel as though they've got an opportunity in the match. And I'd imagine they'd look to their bench as well. If it is kind of still 2-1 going into the last 20 minutes to try and go and get that goal.
Half-time in the big game in the SWPL. It's Glasgow City 1, Celtic 2, and Hearts, remember, the champions 3-0 up at half-time against Aberdeen. The teams are back out. One remaining tie in the Premier Sports Cup second round to be decided. Rangers with a narrow advantage at the interval, 2-1 against St Mirren. Full second half commentary coming up now with Stephen Thompson, Peter Lovencrantz and Al Lamont.
Yeah, and Rangers are making a change, actually. It's Finlay Curtis who's coming on for Daisuke Yokota at the start of this second half. Looks like he's going to play directly where Yokota was on the right-hand side, which we know is not his favoured. He prefers to play on the left, much as Gassama does, but that's where he's going to start this second period. That's the only change at the interval. So Rangers get us back underway. They'll go from left to right with their traditional royal blue tops, white shorts and black and red socks. St Mirren in the gold tops, black shorts and gold socks, as Chukwani jumps into Ryan Carr at the edge of the St Mirren box and gives away the free kick. Do you imagine that change, Peter, is what Stephen was talking about Derek McInnes wanting to preserve a bit of freshness with Thursday and the schedule in mind, or you'd certainly hope it's not a knock to Yokota, because he has looked generally quite bright since signing.
Yeah, I think he's looked good. He's looking good on the ball. His passing and all that is very good. Yeah, I don't know, maybe it is, but I'm not a big fan of the whole resting period things and all that. That always annoyed me when I was playing, you know. I mean, I always felt like you're a professional footballer, you're working hard pre-season to be able to play these games, so I don't need a rest, you know. I thought it was always an excuse for the managers to kind of not play, saying, oh, I'm resting you and this, and I was like, no. So I don't know if this is changing the game, that there's so many games that they need the rest, but I'm not a big believer in that. I think you should just play as much as you can, and if you can't play, then someone else will play.
That's good play between Naderi and Gassama. Now Chukwani out to Curtis, the edge of the box. Here he is, coming into the area, tries to get the shot away. It comes off Declan John and behind for a corner. It's a good link-up. Certainly periods of this game are the best that I've seen Rangers play so far under Derek McInnes. But we have spoken also about the openness that they expose themselves to at the back at times, and that has been the case here and led to St Mirren's goal and other opportunities. But here's a Rangers opportunity at the other end with a corner kick to be taken by Penrice, right hand side, left footed by the debutant, and it comes near post ball as Raskan not too far away from making contact, but it's Carr who gets it clear, picked up by Curtis. Now it's Sterling out to the right hand side looking for Curtis once more, gets there just ahead of Ramos and turns it back the way to Chukwani, and then Dragojevic, Chukwani and Curtis once more, gets on the ball, looking bright at the start of the season as he did last year actually. Didn't really continue that way in terms of the opportunities he was given, as Gassama swings it and it's just too high for Naderi, and behind for a goal kick. 47.5 played, Rangers 2, St Mirren 1 as it was at half time.
It's a good ball in actually from Gassama, chopping onto his right foot and kind of in-swinger ball, but it's just probably about a foot too high for Ryan Naderi. Derek McInnes liked it, he applauded the cross and the intention.
Chapman clears from inside his own penalty area. Macania though too strong for the St Mirren debutant Cavia there. Ball's back with the buddies. It's Sula left hand side, tries to get the better of Sterling, who is ultimately fouled by the St Mirren striker, who has been peeling out to this left hand side pretty much since midway through the first period. He's gone back centrally now, but obviously think there's a bit of joy to be had on this Rangers right hand side. It's Macania out to the left to Penrice, who rolls it back to Pandur, the Rangers goalkeeper, who's yet to keep a clean sheet, and that will continue beyond this afternoon. 5 games he's now played and no clean sheets as yet, as Curtis gives it away. It's picked up by Carr in the middle of the park, crossing the halfway line and then out to the right hand side to Richardson, who gets it back from Cavia, back in field to Carr and back to Richardson once more, and now Fraser has it just outside the centre circle in his own half, forward to Ramos, quickly closed down. Dragojevic gets a good leg in there, and Curtis finds Raskan, and Raskan with a loose pass, and Raskan's almost complaining to Curtis, but it seemed to me quite evident it was the Belgian who was in the wrong there in terms of the pass.
Yeah, I don't think you can blame Curtis on that one. I think Raskan was the kind of fall guy for that. He made a bad pass, and he's trying to put the blame onto Curtis. So, yeah.
Curtis challenging Fraser there, and he's late, and it will be a free kick to St Mirren. Fraser felt that one from the young winger, not holding back against his more experienced opponent, as Gogic on the halfway line plays it back to Fraser, who's recovered from that, and out to the right hand side to Richardson. Again, Craig McLeish marshalling things from the edge of his technical area for St Mirren. It has been a good start to the season, top of the table along with Celtic on 6 points, 5 points clear of today's opponents. As the ball sent back to Chapman, the summer signing from Huddersfield. Here he is once more, the St Mirren goalkeeper, going long. Macania though will just see that back to his goalkeeper Pandur, also a new arrival in the Rangers goal, replacing Jack Butland, who went in the opposite direction to Hull City. Pandur, the Croatian, here he is, mulling over his options, then goes long looking for Naderi. Fraser wins that aerial battle though. Gogic knocks it forward to Ramos. Dragojevic has caught Carr there, and it will be a free kick to St Mirren, about 15 yards inside the Rangers half.
It's not really got going the second half yet. I was going to say that, Alistair. It's not really got going. Rangers not playing any real tempo so far in this second half.
Free kick then to St Mirren to be taken by Declan John. St Mirren throwing Gogic and Fraser and Phillips and Richardson forward, looking to try and cause some problems for the Rangers backline, who are just trying to hold a line just outside their own penalty area. Ramos comes out to the left-hand side to just drag Curtis out. In comes the ball from John. It's Fernandez who gets his head to it first, helped on by Penrice. Poor touch from Gassama, but he gets lucky, and then Curtis feeds it for Penrice. Penrice is coming forward, finds Gassama. Wonderful ball. Jiri Gassama scores! Rangers have their third. It's a terrific counter-attack, and James Penrice with a first-time ball into the path of Jiri Gassama, who just slots it under the goalkeeper from the edge of the box, and Rangers restore the 2-goal advantage. It's Rangers 3, St Mirren 1.
It's an absolute fantastic ball from Jim Penrice across first time. That sets up Gassama perfectly. And yeah, he slots the ball by the goalkeeper, and it's a good finish in the end. I think St Mirren will be quite annoyed at themselves for this, self-inflicted a little bit again, Tom.
Yeah, absolutely. St Mirren had possession of the ball in and around Rangers' box within 2 passes. 3 passes later, 5 seconds later, it's in the back of their own net, and it was, you're right to point out Penrice's role in that. It was absolutely magnificent down that left-hand side. He knew exactly where he wanted to put the ball in front of Gassama, and he did it perfectly. Gassama didn't even have to break his stride. Took his touch, and then he hit the target.
Yeah, rolls it under the goalkeeper. Also, Finlay Curtis gets a bit of credit as well, for he played the ball out to Penrice in the first instance, and Rangers on the counter are back to a 2-goal lead over St Mirren with 53 minutes on the clock. First goal of the season for Gassama as Rangers try and play out from the back. Raskan beaten to that by Phillips. Chukwani though shows good skill to move away from Carr, and now it's Curtis right hand side up against Gogic here. Plays it into Nadiri, lay off for Chukwani. Gassama now onto the right foot. Gassama looking for a second of the afternoon. Half blocked, Rangers still in there, and it's swept into the back of the net by Penrice. Well, a couple of goals in the space of 3 minutes, and Penrice with the assist for the first one of those for Gassama is on the receiving end of the rebound this time to sweep in a debut goal, and all of a sudden Rangers are rampant. It's Rangers 4, St Mirren 1.
It's actually a fantastic breakaway from Rangers. You know, I think Chukwani has to get a bit of credit the way he gets kind of through the first couple of challenges and then plays in Finlay Curtis, who then starts driving forward from the right hand side and cuts inside, lays it off to Nadiri, who lays it off again. The thing is to Chukwani again, who then puts it out wide to Gassama, and he cuts inside and hits the shot. And then it's kind of like ball flies about. You can't. It was
carnage after that.
It was carnage, and then it just lands for Penrice, and yeah, great finish in the end for him, and also fantastic for getting himself as a left back into that position. Is fantastic.
Yeah, they'll be delighted with that. A debut goal, and it was actually really good football from Rangers, as you rightly point out, Peter. Down this right hand side.
It's been checked for offside.
Okay.
I did wonder, I have to say, as he popped up in that very advanced position, whether he'd just gone ahead of the ball, but VAR about to check that, or otherwise are they going to deny James Penrice a debut goal here, and Rangers a 4th of the afternoon. There's a continued delay. It's a second possible offside they're looking at, so they've obviously cleared the first element of the move they're looking at, but another one still to be cleared as the Rangers fans wait to see if they can continue to celebrate a 4th goal here at Ibrox. Niko Raskan and Vanja Dragicevic in conversation with John Beaton, who stands, he's just still waiting to hear the communication. They're continuing to...
It's quite a check this, is it not?
It is indeed, yeah. The first one, as I say, has been clear. There's obviously 2 elements to it. Yeah, it's all clear. It's a goal. It's first Rangers goal for James Penrice on his debut here this afternoon And Rangers lead by 4 goals to 1. It's a long way back now,
curtains.
Stephen, for St Mirren.
Curtains, Alistair. That's it. Game over. It's, you know, St Mirren, what they don't want now, and 4-1's not ideal, but they don't want to end up getting a right doing. That's exactly what Derek McInnes will be wanting. He'll be wanting a 5th and a 6th.
Pandur clears, and you can hear that the Rangers fans, when things are going well, they are perfectly happy to sing the praises of their team. It's a two-way street, I guess. The players have to produce first. As Pandur has the ball at the edge of his penalty area. Dragicevic back to Fernandez, loose pass out. Phillips picks up, left-hand side of the box, in it comes. Akanya gets it clear, Carr picks up. Chukwani though robs him, and then Gassama feeds Raskan. Rangers have got bodies over here. Raskan's a poor ball, it's going to come back to him though. Can he get it right second time? Gassama, Curtis wants it. Curtis could be in here, just tries to dink it. Saved on the line by Gogic to deny Rangers a 5th goal. Fraser it was, getting back right on the line to steer that one clear as Curtis just tried to dink it over the keeper. He managed that, but Fraser was there to deny Rangers a 5th goal. Here they come once more though, and
Mirren are all over the place here. Really rocked.
Well, so close to a 3rd goal in quick succession there, but Rangers do lead by 4 goals to 1. 58 almost played at Ibrox as Macania just pulled back there by Mockery, and it will be a free kick to Rangers as St Mirren prepared to make a couple of changes here, a couple of attacking changes, as Jake Young and Fraser Taylor are stripped and ready to come on. Rangers have it though. It will be the next break in play before the change is made. But, Marcus Fraser just a moment ago wasn't supposed to be in the starting lineup, but for the injury in the warm-up to Donnelly, but there he was, getting back in the line to deny Finlay Curtis a goal. Gassama with a flick to Chukwani. Rangers playing some wonderful stuff at the moment. It's Dragicevic at the edge of the box. Curtis once more inside, drags his shot just wide. Only half a yard away from hitting the target there, and at the moment, as Stephen's suggesting, Peter, this could end up anything.
Yeah, Rangers has turned it on the gas a wee bit now. Is I think Chukwani and Gassama's link up on the left hand side was absolutely fantastic, and sets it up for Finlay Curtis in the end, and he drags a shot wide of the right hand post. Actually, I think Finlay Curtis has been a fresh what's it called? Did you say that?
Breath of fresh air, Pierre.
That's the one. So I love it. He's been brilliant since he came on.
He's looked really
good, lively. Like him
dangerous.
off the right hand side. I think he's been good for him as well. Can go on the right foot, but also caught inside. I think he's looking really, really good. And I really hope he gets a good chance this season to show what he can do.
Yeah, St Mirren coming forward, having made those changes. It's Jake Young on for Cabia, and Taylor has replaced Ramos. See if that helps St Mirren's cause any. But yeah, Finlay Curtis absolutely could have had a couple of goals there within the last couple of minutes, and just generally always just looks to drive Rangers forward regardless of which position he's asked to play. That's him clearing the ball up towards Gassama, who's looked bright this afternoon, and he's leading the attack here. Naderi's on his outside, he's looking up though, he's looking left, and he's found Penrice, and Penrice is at the edge of the box, and he's going to take the shot, and it's a good save from Chapman to deny him. Naderi keeps it alive, goes down under the challenge there from Gogic. It's back to Gassama, his shot is reflected wide. It'll be a Rangers corner. They're asking for a penalty. I don't think they're going to get that for a barge in the back from Gogic on Naderi. I don't think there was enough in
soft,
that.
yeah.
But it will be a Rangers corner, and again they're looking dangerous.
Yeah, every time they go forward they look as though they could score at this minute in time. So they're really struggling. You can see the confidence in the Rangers players and the lift it's given the stadium as well. And they're looking a real force at this moment in time. Gassama's down, is it cramp? 60 minutes?
Maybe a wee bit. But Stephen, do you think St Mirren, that this is so self-inflicted in the way they've kind of opened up and the way they play forward the pitch? They open up at the back so much for Rangers' counter-attack, and Rangers are so dangerous in transition going from the counter-attack.
Yeah.
But because they're so wide open,
yeah,
it's self-inflicted, isn't it?
Well, it is. I mean, they've not come here to park the bus and
no,
try
I like that.
And they've tried to be positive, but in doing so, they're leaving spaces. That's
the first half. They were much more organised than that. In the second half, no.
Here comes a corner, right hand side, left footed from Penrice, right to the back post. Out comes Chapman. Eventually, gets onto that. Rangers going to make a triple change here, which includes the introduction of Ross McCausland, who looked like and might yet be leaving the club, but he's going to come on here for the last virtually a half hour. Shankland and Neil are also going to come on as Gogic has it at the back for St Mirren. Phillips back to his goalkeeper. Chapman's going to have to watch this. He does really well to bring that under control, because Dragicevic was going to pounce on him if he had miscontrolled that, and then he launches it long. Penrice has had a terrific debut, you'd have to say.
Yeah, it's been really good, Alistair.
He's just slotted right in as Richardson comes forward here for St Mirren. Phillips looking to get on the end of it. Challenge made by Fernandes. I think he played that off Phillips. Indeed he did. And it will be behind for the Rangers. Goal kick. 62 minutes on the clock. Here comes the triple change. Shankland, Neil and McCausland. And tell you who the players coming off are. Ryan Naderi to be replaced by Shankland. Vanja Dragicevic to be replaced by Dan Neil, and I guess it's going to be Gassama. Yeah, Gassama to be replaced by Ross McCausland. I would imagine Curtis will then go over to the left and McCausland will play right.
You'd have thought so, yeah.
Gassama did well as well.
He had a good game, there's no doubt about that. He could be really pleased with his afternoon's work. Direct, dangerous, confident, getting shots away.
Yeah, but that's what you want to see from him. He needs to
bring it more regularly.
Exactly. That needs to be more regular, because he does have the qualities. He just hasn't had the end product so much for me, and today has been different from him. It's been a good game for him today.
Agreed. Shanks will be desperate to get a goal here as well.
Yeah, from open play, ideally. You've obviously got that penalty on Thursday. As Phillips has stayed down for St Mirren actually after that challenge in the penalty area. It was a kind of 50-50 with Fernandes, and he's getting a bit of treatment right now. Actually, it looks like McCausland has gone just into that Gassama position, the left wing, and Curtis staying on the right. So we'll see how that pans out. Phillips looks to be okay. A little wince there as he jogs over to this near side. Something probably there's no point really. I mean, if you accept that the game's gone from him, there's no point in taking any chances if he is feeling something, because he's been such an important player for them.
I think he actually had a very good first half. Phillips thought he played really, really well. He wanted to be on the balls, passing, running about, covering the pitch really well.
Rangers have it at the back. We've played 64 minutes. Rangers leading by 4-1. They'll be looking, despite having made those changes, to try and keep the momentum going, to continue a feel-good factor which has been lacking at Ibrox of late, understandably. Here's Fernandes. Rangers looking for a first win of the season in their 5th game. Here's Curtis now sliding into McCausland. McCausland first touch, drags the shot wide a goal with the left foot. Maybe just his first touch took him away a little bit wider than he would have wanted, but would still have been home to hit the target. Failed to do so. 65 played, Rangers 4, St Mirren 1.
Yeah, it was a similar type of shot as the one that Finlay Curtis had 5 minutes ago, where they just dragged it wide of the post. It was a good pass, and tell me he took his touch. You're right, his touch kind of took him wider than he wanted to be, and then he just dragged it with his left foot past the post.
That's Young on the right hand side into Richardson, and now Sule into the Rangers box. He's gone down. That's got to be a penalty. It is, and Fernandes is the guilty party. He won't get another yellow card, I don't imagine, for that challenge, but he has conceded a penalty. And St Mirren, well, maybe they do have a way back into this game. It was just purposeful running there from Sule, and committed the defender. Fernandes was clumsy with the challenge, And St Mirren have an opportunity here to get back within 2 goals. As Pander's waving over, I think he's trying to get the attention of either maybe Alan McGregor, the goalkeeping coach, or maybe the set-piece coach, to see if there's any instruction as to where Killian Phillips tends to put his penalties. I'm not sure he's getting much information from the sidelines. Derek McInnes, I think, is trying to explain. VAR have checked that the foul was indeed a foul, so it is a penalty. They're just checking.
Obvious, Alistair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes when you're up here in the gantry, it's difficult to see things in the penalty box from this distance, but that one was fairly obvious, I would have to say.
They're just checking the attacking phase of play, which all seems to be fine. So it will be a penalty. And Killian Phillips will have an opportunity here then to get a second goal of the afternoon for St Mirren. Pandur back in his line, jumping to push the crossbar. It's Phillips with a goal. Just slots it in, but the referee is whistling, and I think he's going to say you're going to have to take it again, because he hadn't blown his whistle initially.
Wow. What just happened?
That's interesting. He hadn't blown his whistle right enough, but Phillips didn't.
He took it very quickly, didn't he?
It was quick, aye. This will be interesting now if he misses this.
Yes.
Well, now Pandur's got the information as to where Phillips puts his penalties. He goes
Does he change?
bottom left. Well, let's see. Yes, he does, and it's saved by Pandur. Well, Phillips isn't happy, understandably, because he scored the initial one, but the referee hadn't blown the whistle, and he changed to the other side. He didn't find the bottom corner, and Pandur got down quickly. He went the same way as he went the first time, and was able to get a good strong hand to it, and keeps the scoreline at Rangers 4, St Mirren 1. You got a feel for Killian Phillips there.
Yeah, he's going to be raging. I think Craig McLeish was raging as well. Here comes Rangers again.
McCausland left hand side into the penalty area, away by Carr. Phillips is there ahead of Raskan, picked up by Taylor, closed down by Chukwani, who also has had a pretty decent game.
Yeah.
Left hand side now, keeps the ball in play and then rolls it back to Penrice into the angle of the box for Chukwani once more, spins and plays it to Raskan, back to Penrice, crossing opportunity, checks back, and it's Raskan once more left hand side. Rangers just keeping a hold of the ball. Chukwani into the feet of McCausland here, out to Penrice once more. St Mirren can't get near them. Just going back to the move that led to the penalty, I thought it was really good play by Sule. He just committed the defence, just burst into the box and drew the foul. Here's Curtis at the other end, into the penalty area he comes, gets it through to Shanklin. Shanklin spins and gets the shot in, but it's no real power or purpose, and is offside anyway, as Chapman is allowed to clear the ball up to Young. His pass though is picked off by Raskan. He was looking for Taylor. And now Chukwani once more coming forward for Rangers, out to the left hand side to McCausland, waits for Penrice to make the overlapping run. Here he is, Penrice first time ball in, Shanklin attacks it, but it's John who gets there first, and then Mockery picks up left hand side and plays it off Neil, and it'll be a St Mirren throw in. We've got just over 20 minutes left to play. It's Rangers 4, St Mirren 1.
Yeah, that was St Mirren's kind of way back into the game, if you like. I mean, it was still a big ask, even if it was 4-2, but yeah, I mean, I think
the move was fantastic to
down the right hand
penalty.
side.
I don't know who it was over the right hand side. It does unbelievable bit of skill. Would it be with the Zinedine Zidane move, would it turn and up the wing and then overlap and cross his ball into the middle? It was a fantastic move and a stolen penalty in the end. But yeah, they missed that opportunity to get back in. Great save from Pandur, to be fair, on the second penalty, to be fair.
Yeah, he got down right on the line, didn't he, to stop it. So 4-1 with 20 to play. Rangers look like they are going to join Hearts, Hibs and Stennismuir of today's teams who have gone into the quarter-final draw, which will also include Kilmarnock, Aberdeen, Ross County and Celtic. The draw coming up right after this game. As Rangers pick up possession once more, it's McCausland coming forward. He's got an opportunity to try and make an impression. Well, he's made an impression on, I think it's Jayden Richardson, who he's fouled, having just been a little bit loose in his touch, and then he swiped him to the ground, and he's earned a yellow card for his trouble on his first appearance of the season.
Yeah, he just lost control of the ball and then kind of threw himself into the challenge. I don't think John Beaton had any other option other than to give him the yellow there.
71 on the clock as St Mirren prepare to take this free kick just a couple of yards inside the Rangers half. Played short by Fraser to Taylor and then back to the St Mirren captain again. 34,387.
That was close.
You weren't not too far away, Stephen, to
Thanks.
be fair.
Wow, Thomas. Yeah, not
good
bad.
guess.
Not bad.
As Mockery picks up left-hand side for St Mirren into Carr at the edge of the centre circle. Little bounce pass with Taylor. Carr then finds Sula at the edge of the box. He's gone for goal and he's not too far away. Isosa Sula, whose time at Motherwell last season on loan from West Brom was ended after a couple of games in the League Cup group stage through injury, but having signed now for St Mirren, he's already got a goal for them and will hopefully add to that over the course of the season. As Pandur prepares to clear out on this right hand side, he's looking for Sterling, who goes up and beats John in the jump. Gogic is there just ahead of Shankland, and helping tidy up was Mockery. Back to Chapman, the goalkeeper. 72 played, Rangers leading by 4-1. Could have been back to 4-2 as Killian Phillips thought he'd tucked home the penalty, but had to retake it because the whistle hadn't gone, and the retake was saved. Here's Raskan. Is he going to continue to be a Rangers player beyond the end of the transfer window? Would you like Peter to see him? It doesn't seem like there's been a significant bid come in for him. Would you prefer to see him stay, or do you think it's time for him to move on?
I was actually surprised that he was still here after the World Cup. I mean, he played very, very well for Belgium, but he's here, and if there's not been any bid, then I'm great. I'm happy to see him still here. Fantastic football, and I think he's good for the club. But does the right bid come in, then it could be the right time for him to move as well. I think the club also probably needs that type of transfer after some of the other ones we've missed out on doing. So, yeah, I think if the bid comes in, then we probably need to take it.
Here's Chukwani driving forwards. He's got Penrice on the left-hand side. He'll get there, he'll cut it back. It's Shankland off the post and tucked in by Ross McCausland. Rangers have a fifth. Shankland looking for his first goal from open play, but it came back off the upright. But McCausland was still lurking there, and he sweeps in from close range to make it Rangers 5, St Mirren 1. There will be a check for offside, I would guess, because McCausland was so close to the goal. But for the moment, Rangers have a 4-goal advantage. Rangers 5, St Mirren 1.
Chukwani does ever so well again, driving in the middle of the pitch, released out to the left-hand side to McCausland, was it? And then his cross into the box. Lawrence Shankland's so unlucky, he kind of hits it the outside of his boot and it hit the inside of the post, went right away along the goal, kind of spun out about a yard, and then McCausland was there just to tap in. The easiest of goals for the young man. But 5-1, most definitely game over, man.
You can actually see Shankland when he's
raging.
He's raging, isn't he? He's walking there because his body language is not happy, and I get that. You know, he's come to the club and he wants to get that kind of first goal in open play. So it's a bit of a shame for him, but yeah, good for Rangers that they got the goal.
They are checking this. They're drawing the lines. The VAR. It was Penrice who caught it just at the byline, cut it back for Shankland, and he seemed to kind of almost backheel it with his studs. But the goal is going to be given, and Ross McCausland, on his first appearance for Rangers in over a year, is on the score sheet as Sula is replaced here for St Mirren by Luke Thomas. 15 minutes to play, and it's a heavy old scoreline for St Mirren to face up to. Feels a little bit harsh on them the way the game has gone, but you've got an opportunity as the substitute off the post. Luke Thomas is just in the park and he is denied by the frame of the goal. But unfortunately for him, unlike at the other end a moment ago, there's no player there to tap in the rebound, and it remains Rangers 5, St Mirren 1.
They've had wee spells of good play throughout the game, and that was another good passing move down the right hand side. The ball comes into Thomas, and I thought it was he should have hit it first time. He takes his touch and manages to kind of dig out a shot, and it was kind of trundling, wasn't it? But hit the face of the post and out.
But I think you're right, Steve. St Mirren have had some spells of fantastic football. You know, I mean, they've played some really good, and every time they've done that, they've actually created good chances, big chances, just not been able to put the ball away.
Yeah, Rangers for once have been clinical in front of goal. It's not something you could say about them so far this season, but yeah, they've had a number of good individual performances as well. We mentioned the likes of Penrice, Kasama, Chukwani have all done well. Curtis, since he's come on,
I think Fernandes has had a wee bit of a struggle. I think he's looked vulnerable down the back in the centre-half position. Sloppy plays, the booking, the penalty. There's been a few things for him, but I think everybody else has had decent performances.
Yeah, well, you would imagine that over the next couple of weeks, Rangers are still looking to strengthen different areas, and maybe another centre-back is one of them. They could do with a left-sided centre-back, natural left-sided centre-back, perhaps, just for balance.
Yeah, but again, also if Raskin goes, if the bid comes in for Raskin and he's going, then you need to fill that gap as well. Or do you have that and then use that money for the centre-half kind of thing? So it'll be very interesting in the kind of last stages of the transfer window if anything happens.
Yeah, they've got a lot of central midfielders. Whether any of them are of the calibre to slot in instead of Raskin is debatable. I feel that they definitely need wingers, as Raskin shows exactly why he could be in demand. Then finds Dan Neil driving forward. Now it's Curtis, right hand side of the penalty area. Across goal it comes. Shanklin couldn't get the shot off, and down goes Luke Thomas, and buys his side a free kick just outside the penalty area, and remains Rangers 5, St Mirren 1. But
positive again from Curtis, wasn't it, down the right hand side? He's definitely made an impact. He flashed the ball across the 6-yard box, and I think Lawrence just got his kind of feet mixed up a wee bit.
You have to kind of acknowledge that Derek McInnes said pre-match that he's got a group of players here who want to go and succeed naturally. I mean, I guess every group of players wants to succeed, but they've gone out this afternoon under a fair bit of criticism and a bit of sort of intense spotlight upon them, and for the most part have produced the performance and certainly the result that the fans have come here looking for. As Curtis brings them forward, and Chukwani slides it forward once again to Shanklin, left hand side, onto McCausland. Offside flags up though against the winger.
I would just say as well, like what you're just saying, that they have come out and produced and stuff, but don't forget that St Mirren has had opportunities to change this game completely, and especially the first half. There was loads of opportunities to do so. The penalty here to go to 4-2 and then makes a wee bit nervy. Rangers has scored some great goals and took their chances, but there also has been things where it could have been a different game. We could have been sitting here talking about had St Mirren maybe punished them a wee bit, and also the personal mistakes they've made. So yeah, I get what you're saying, but there's also a lot of things still to happen to Rangers that they need to sort out.
Yeah, I think that's entirely fair. As Sterling lifts it forward, looking for Curtis. Is it going to catch this one? Curtis tries to square it out, looking for Shanklin, but it just took a little deflection, and Shanklin looks to the sky once more as it just evades him once more.
He just needs something to fall for him, doesn't he?
I thought the one earlier there, he would have put the ball away when Curtis squared it to him in the box. That's normally the one he puts in the back of the net, isn't it?
There's Neil for Penrice, and now McCausland. Back to Neil. And then Raskin. Can't find Penrice with that ball. St Mirren picked back up. We've played 80 minutes now. Rangers leading by 5-1 in the last of the Premier Sports Cup ties of this weekend. There have been a few good ones. Up at Pittodrie yesterday, Aberdeen put on a good show to turn the tables on Dundee after the previous week's defeat. Stephen Robinson, I'm sure, would have been delighted with that. And of course we had the derby down in Ayrshire on Friday, which sounded like a cracker. Celtic easing their way through, albeit Dundee United, I think they hit the woodwork 5 times, but Celtic again clinical, booking their place. And of course the shock came at Ochilview as Motherwell were defeated away to Stennismuir. Both sides about to make some more changes. As St Mirren build down the right hand side, it's Richardson just keeping the ball in play in an advanced area. Then clipped into the area, Sterling able to clear, Neil trying to help it on, but it's picked up by Mockery, can't get past Raskin, and it's lashed over by Taylor, that's blocked as well. Breaks out to John on the left hand side, he might be about to be replaced by Fieldson, he plays in left back as well. And young Luke Douglas is the other player who's going to come on, the 17-year-old, who I'm guessing you'll have seen, Stephen.
Yeah,
You've been watching
loads of them. Yep.
The youth teams.
Yeah.
Your
There's a wee goal machine as look.
Here's Phillips for St Mirren. 5-1 they trail with 8 to play. Taylor now midway inside the Rangers half. Back it comes to Carr, and now Mockery, who scored St Mirren's 1 goal so far. Here they're trying to add to that. It's Young, dispossessed though on the edge of the box. Good challenge by Neil. It's Chukwani, who's been much more like the kind of player Rangers would have been looking for. John Beaton's taken this back an awful long way for a Rangers free kick. I thought the advantage period had passed, but Rangers do have a free kick. There's a St Mirren player down in the meantime, and they are going to make a double change with Douglas and Fieldson coming on, McCrory coming on for Rangers. We'll see who's about to make way. I guess it'll probably be Sterling for McCrory. Indeed, that is the case. Sterling applauded off. McCrory's another one who will be looking to make some sort of positive impact in the closing stages, because the start or the restart to his Rangers career has not been altogether positive. Just waiting, I think, to see how Mockery is here before the St Mirren changes are made, because clearly he probably wasn't one of the ones who was going to come off, but maybe he'll have to, in which case he'll have to rethink the changes that are imminent. As Fieldson and Douglas just bide their time. Mockery looks like he's struggling a bit.
Yeah, it was just in that challenge with Chukwani, and I don't think Chukwani meant it, but he kind of caught him late in the top of his foot. He's struggling a bit.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to continue, so I think there is a bit of reworking going on here with the 4th official. The board's going to have to be changed. The same 2 players are coming on, Fieldson and Douglas, but Mockery's going to be replaced. Taylor's been told he's to play as a 10, I think. So on comes Fieldson, but it's Phillips and Mockery who make way, and Douglas comes on now as well.
Gogic will just go into midfield alongside Carr in there.
Yeah, so Fieldson's slotting in at centre back, but he can play, although he's played most of his football last season at Queen's Park as a left back, I can recall. Clipped out to the right hand side to McCrory, who nods it infield for Curtis. He comes back the way and plays it to Fernandez, brings it down in the chest, then thumps it long, looking to release Shankland. Shankland brings it down on the thigh, grappling there with Fieldson, but it's going to be a St Mirren throw-in. Shankland looks bemused. Didn't look like it was a St Mirren throw to me, but Shankland was pretty certain that it would come off Fieldson last.
I think I did as well. A strange one.
Here is Gogic, as Stephen says, is now in the middle of the park. Thomas couldn't keep it though for St Mirren. He's got it back. Richardson on the halfway line. And into Taylor. Back to Carr inside the centre circle. 5 to play at Ibrox. Rangers leading by 5 goals to 1, and no doubt that they will be in the quarter-final draw. Taylor looking to find Gogic, who tried to step over it for the benefit of Thomas, but that didn't really work out. And Rangers have it back through Fernandez at the back, just outside his penalty area. Rangers fans beginning to make their way towards the exit, but not for the reason they've been doing so far this season, because they know the game is done and dusted in their favour this time. Raskan feeds it forward. They might yet get more goals though, as Curtis is on the chase. Fieldson getting back there and does well to get it clear. Raskan felt a nudge in the back there from Douglas and gets the free kick on the right hand side. Quickly taken, not from the right place, but allowed to continue. James Penrice given the sponsors man of the match. Would you have any quibbles with that if either of you were picking it yourselves?
No, absolutely not. I think he's been fantastic today. Goal as well, but yeah, his performance, assist, everything, you know, he's been brilliant.
Gogic wins that from Curtis, and it was Jake Young going for goal straight into the midriff though of Pandur, who held on to it well. Was struck with a fair bit of force, but collected it into the body.
It's another decent opportunity, isn't it? And Peter's right, he pointed out 5 minutes ago that Rangers cough up these chances to opposition teams, and St Mirren haven't been ruthless today, but it's something they're going to iron out of their game.
If you come up against a team who takes these chances, you can get done over, and that's the problem.
Here's Richardson for St Mirren, looking for further consolation in the games. Presumably all it would be at this stage. 3 minutes to play, 5-1 they trail. It's out with John on the left hand side, midway inside the Rangers half. Gets it back from Gogic and then plays it back to Fieldson on the halfway line into Taylor. Quickly closed down, won by Neil. And Shanklin back out to Neil right hand side, who delivers it for Chukwani. Chukwani a bit of space, into the box he comes. Can he finish it off? Good challenge came in there to deny him. Behind for a corner, it's Marcus Fraser again, who's going to last the 90 minutes here, it appears, despite not having been in the original team sheet. Chukwani needs his calf stretched off there after bursting into the box. It would have been a fitting end to the game for him if he'd been able to score, but good defending, you've got to say, from Marcus Fraser.
Yeah, he's had a top game, Chukwani as well, but the pass from Neil across back across on a first time pass is absolutely fantastic. It sets up Chukwani fantastically, but he can't really get the ball at his feet quick enough to get a shot off, and yeah, the defending tackle is absolutely brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, really good.
Corner kick left hand side to be taken by Penrice, out swinger. Fernandez brings it under control but can't swivel and get the shot away, and it's cleared as far as Curtis, who swings it back in towards Shanklin's the target at least. John gets the head to it first. Shanklin will pick up though, gets it back to Fernandez at the edge of the box, takes a touch into the area, and then Fieldson just steps in but knocks it behind for another Rangers corner, this time right hand side, as we approach the final minutes of the 90. Rangers continue to lead by 5-1.
How many minutes added on, do you reckon, Alistair?
Not that many. 3 again, maybe.
Okay.
What would you say?
Going for 4.
Peter?
Oh, I was going to say 4, but I can't do that now. I'm stuck.
It's not hard. Just pick a number between 1 and like 10.
Okay, the substitute. Nah, it can't be 5. Okay, I'm going to go 2. I'm going to gamble on a 2.
All right, we'll see.
Penrice with a corner then from the right hand side. Low ball in, defended by Carr, out for a throw in now. 2 Rangers down near the corner flag on the right hand side. 30 seconds left to play. Might not actually be any added on time, for which would be a rarity in modern football. Then. No, they didn't. No.
0 minutes. Strange.
So did I get it because it's closest?
You would. You would. It's McCrory about to take a throw in on the right hand side into the head of Shanklin, who flicks it on, but Neil couldn't gather. Back into the box it comes. Gogic clears. Raskan trying to keep it alive, gets there first. And the full-time whistle goes. Well, I don't think anyone's complaining too much that there's no injury time. St Mirren, for them it was lost a long time ago. Rangers, really for the first time of the season, showing a ruthless edge to run out 5-1 winners. They were 2-0 up early doors as Naderi flicked the ball past the goalkeeper from close range before Dragicevic scored what probably goes down as the goal of the game. on 18 minutes, chesting it down and then catching it as it dropped. A beautiful dipping effort into the top corner for his first goal for the club. But then Rangers and Dragicevic allowed St Mirren back into it just after the half hour. His slack pass into the path of Mockery, who took a couple of strides towards the edge of the box before lashing it beyond Ivar Pander to make it 2-1 at half time. But Rangers came out and quite early in the second half as well restored the 2-goal advantage. On 52 minutes it was a move involving Curtis and Penrice on the counter-attack, and Penrice into the path of Gassama, who slotted in from the edge of the area under the keeper to make it 3-1. 2 minutes later, Gassama had an effort blocked, but it fell for Penrice, who swept in a debut goal to make it 4-1. And then Fraser saved on a line from Curtis to deny them a fifth, but they did get a fifth when Penrice provided for Shankland, who clipped it off the post, but McCausland on as a substitute tapped in on his first appearance of the season to make it 5-1. That was just after St Mirren thought they had a second goal back from the penalty spot after Fernandes had fouled Sule in the area. Phillips scored from the spot, but he had to retake it because the whistle hadn't gone from John Beaton, and when he stepped up again he changed side. Pander went the same way though and saved well on his line. Thomas hit the post for St Mirren again. They could have had more goals than they did in the end, but ultimately they could only notch one. Rangers got 5, and so Rangers into the last 8 and into the draw, which is imminent here on BBC Radio Scotland. We'll bring you that just shortly. But at full time here at Ibrox, a first win as Rangers manager for Derek McInnes. It is Rangers 5, St Mirren 1.
Rangers versus St Mirren.
The Scottish League Cup.